And this is why, as an FYI, you never trust a dealership. Um, Told them just double check, make sure cabin air filter is changed, especially for a smoke odor vehicle. And as you can see, got tissue paper all in here. Look at that. That is not changed. That is not changed. So you're gonna have that smoke odor in the car the entire time. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Gloss Garage, where we make detailing simple. My name is Sak, and today I have something special for you all. So here we have a 2014 CX-5, a Mazda CX-5, and it is here to do a smoke odor treatment. And I will walk you through the process. Now, there will be a walk around on the before and how the vehicle looks. The owner did buy it used. In terms of the smell, it does smell about like a 6 or a 7. And we can definitely either remove it completely or reduce it by a lot. And I will show you my process, my techniques, what I've learned throughout the years on how to actually do smoke odor removal process on interiors. And I will show you how to do that today. So in terms of everything, a lot of people think it's just deep cleaning the vehicle only. In terms of what I mean deep cleaning is there's certain people that do say a deep clean interior detail, which is like carpet shampoo and steaming, and then say a little bit of cleaning on the headliners. But in terms of smoke odor removal, you really want to go a lot deeper than that. And what I mean by that is use the tools and accessories to remove the stuck on tar, soot, nicotine, all that stuff, all the ash and smoke that's stuck inside the fibers of the either the headliner or on your carpets. And that is what's really going to help do the smoke odor removal process, because what you want to do is actually remove the source of the odor first and then do the odor elimination treatment, whether it's I'm going to be using an ozone generator. But that is pretty much the premise of the video. So let's get started with the video. I don't want to hold on too much, so I'll bring you down here to the seat and we will see if this dry eraser picks up any dirt, grit, and grime, because this is coming off straight from the dealership. The owner did pick it up a couple days ago. And yeah, so as you can see, you could tell they probably put some type of conditioner in here. The leather's already ripping, but you want to be careful with that. I've done many videos of showcasing on how I like to use a dry eraser to help with this process. And what I'm going to do here is I have a bit of What I have here is a bit of Typhon from Phoenix COD and a bit of Sword. And you want to spray your sponge as well, your dry eraser, melanin sponge, however you call it. And it's just no pressure, right? All we're doing is just removing that tar and soot and ash from either the seats, the carpets, the fabrics. That's what we want to do. I'm not doing any pressure. I'm just guiding it probably like 3 or 4 times and pick up some stuff. So nothing was picked up here, but I will show you, because I forgot to press record. This was the center console right there. And when you take a whiff, it does smells like cigarettes. So again, you want to be very generous and deep clean every speck of dirt, grit, and grime. Now, the one thing I like about Typhon is that this product has it has a strong smell. And then I mix it with Sword, because Sword also has odor neutralizing as well. And I just mix up both products. They end up working so well. And taking a whiff, and I do smell a bit of smoke that's coming from here, so a bit of that cigarette smell. So yeah, you just want to just clean lightly. I'm not doing any pressure with the dry eraser, and we are just removing all that topical stuff. And remember how shiny the leather was? Now it's not shiny, it's not in your face anymore. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is use the dry eraser on all the leather, and you want to change it periodically. So I have a bunch of dry erasers. I cut all these. I have this like a big block, but I took 3 of them, so I have like 12 pieces. And after you're done with one section, which I call, say, the entire seats, I throw this out and grab another dry eraser, because you do not want to introduce that same dirt and nicotine on all the other stuff, on all the other plastics and stuff. So yeah, so just continue around with this. It is very easy, it is very simple, and I will show you step 2. Once we're done with this, we are going to move on to blowing out the carpets and the interior. Then we're going to do a vacuum on the carpets, and then we are going to prep it for an extraction. So see you guys in the future. All right, so the front seat is done. And as I said, you want to change them out constantly, because remember, this is the first one that I said I use on the center console. And now this is the entire seat once it's done. And yeah, it still does have a strong nicotine, tar, soot, whatever smell that's in here. And yeah, so we are ready to, again, discard and just rinse and repeat on every single substrate. Now, some areas on here is already damaged, of course, as you can see. That's already damaged. This is slightly faded. So there's like a couple of streaks here and there. They probably dressed it just a bit to mask the way it looks, because some areas look a bit sticky. It was probably spray painted on. So I'm, again, it's no pressure with this. It's just 1, 2, 3 times across, and that's it. Zero pressure. All we're doing is just removing that stuck on, you know, tar and soot that's on there. So yeah, so just continue all around the panels, and we are ready to then start on phase 2. All right, I thought I recorded the walk around, but I didn't. So here is the actual door panel. So I did the door panel off screen already. Did the door panel. We did the seats. I got all the sponges right there. Hopefully you can see that they're dirty. You see 3 sponges. I'm getting more. And this is just a walk around before. Again, there's some damage that's, you know, normal here and there. But all in all, on the surface, it looks relatively clean. Obviously, I got to vacuum a couple of areas, but here is the, you know, greasy either type of conditioner that they put. You know, you don't want that stuff. You know, you want it to look like this when it comes from the factory. Nice, you know, soft, non-shiny finish. And we are just going to make sure everything is as OEM as possible. As I said, everything looks pretty good in here. So that's about it. I did this off screen, so I do have to, whoops, sorry for the shaky camera work. Gotta clean up here. You see that? That's all that conditioner stuff that's on there. So gotta wipe in here, and that's it. And again, making sure we clean and remove all this sticky residue. This could even be not just a conditioner, it could be a mix as well of that tar and soot and stuff that's embedded, so, and the nicotine. All right, everyone, so the interior is done. These are all the dirty towels. When I mean the initial wipe is done, this is all the towels. Those are all the towels we threw out, and over here it's all the, look, all the dry erasers, right? Again, we're not being cheap, we're not being stingy. We have to remove the source of the odor first, right? And we're doing panel by panel, because if we just use one towel and one dry eraser the entire time, we're just moving all that other stuff around. So every section, or after every seat, every door panel, I grab a new one, so everything is clean top to bottom. And you'll be able to take a look at all the plastics. Everything just looks much cleaner overall. Everything looks much cleaner, as you can see here, much cleaner. So the next step is on the leather and plastics, will be the steamer. My wife already drill brush the actual the carpet. So what we ended up using is, I'm doing all around. That's my daughter's cart stroller that we ended up cleaning, but we ended up using BioBreak because my wife ended up cleaning my daughter's stroller at the same time, and we ended up putting BioBreak all over on all the carpets. And after that, we just agitate with the brush. We have the Mighty Light extractor right there, and we just agitate it. As you can see, my wife already agitated it, but just for context purposes, this is going to break down and remove any slight staining, dirt, grime, and debris. So we are using BioBreak, and that will be the first part of the extraction. Then the second part of the extraction, we end up using a little bit of Tide, or yeah, some Tide or Arm& Hammer, whatever laundry detergent of your choice. And that will help, again, we'll agitate and then we'll remove all that dirt, grit, and grime with the extractor on the second pass, and obviously remove the smell as well. Let it dry and we'll just fast forward from there. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the leathers and plastics. You'll probably see me start steaming the entire interior, and I'll move on to that part. Well, we pretty much already know what's the first step with this. All right, everyone, let me back you up. I probably am a bit too close, but all right, everyone. So pretty much we've done the first step, and now it is time for the easy step afterwards, is we are going to be using the steamer. So this is got my Chief steamer, and inside I do have a BioBomb Mini, so that is an odor neutralizer as well. So we are going to pretty much sanitize the entire interior. And let me show you the door panel so all of you can see. So as you can see, that the door panel looks pretty much brand new, nice and deep clean. And what we're going to do next is, again, just sanitize it. It has BioBomb in there. So BioBomb has like that chlorine. I'll put the name of the product in there, but pretty much it is a odor neutralizer. And yes, this is very effective in removing smoke odors as well, fish odors, all that other type of stuff, because it actually embeds itself into the fabric or the upholstery or the substrate in itself. So it is very, very awesome, especially if you're using it with a steamer. So it's the same thing. So using the steamer, got my pressure, and I just go in here. Just want to sweep back and forth. And just make sure you get enough of that product on there. And right now it smells like BioBomb, that chlorine smell. And we are, again, essentially just sanitizing the entire interior before we are ready to start, before we do our gas process after this. So I like to do this about 2 to 3 times. Other people like to hold the steamer a lot closer. I'm not really a fan of that. I know Carlos is a pro with this stuff, Carlos Serrano. So shout out to Carlos out in Dallas, Texas. But for me, I like to be a little bit safer. So I do this about 2 to 3 times. As you saw, I keep things moving quickly. I'm not burning anything. Everything still looks the same. I'm just making sure that this product just, you know, overall seeps into the substrate, and we are sanitizing and deep cleaning. So back at it again. And again, moving back and forth quickly. And I am not super close either. So all the way around. And that is it. As you can tell, the product was mist on, was put on there, let it dwell, and we wipe off. And that is pretty much everything in a nutshell. We're going to do the same thing for the seats. And for the carpets, you will see once we're ready to start steaming the carpets on how different it's going to be. So that is quick and easy on how to do these things. So, yep, on to the next step. All right, everyone, so we're just up to the steaming part of the carpet. So my wife already extracted everything. Same thing that we did. We're still getting a lot of that smoke odor out. And yeah, so that is making sure we deep clean, sanitize. Again, we have BioBomb minis in there. And as you can see, look at all that. That's still there. It still smells like smoke, but little by little it's coming out. And then we are going to put a bit of Tide on there as well, again, to alleviate that smell. But this is just the first step. So extract it, steam it, then extract it again with some Tide, and we should be all good to go. I did forget to mention, as far as the headliners, I already agitated with some Tide. Obviously, I'm not going to put BioBreak. You don't want to put a lot of stuff up here, but the whole point is to get rid of that smoke smell. A lot of these stainings are already pretty much going to be permanently there. This is a 2014, right? See that? This is a 2014. It has some stainage, it has some like wicking, has all this other stuff, but I just put some Tide on here, agitated with a drill brush, and then let it concentrate. Did this twice so that way we could get a lot of that smell out. And then we are going to just lightly steam over it to just sanitize it. That is pretty much it on what we did on here. So the interior is practically almost done. We just need to actually just let the interior dry before we move on to the ozone stuff, because my wife and I, we literally cleaned this from top to bottom. The owner did come here around like, I think 5:45 ish, and right now, what time is it? We started nonstop from when they got here, and it is 7:54. So pretty much 2 hours just cleaning top to bottom, and we got like another probably 20-30 minutes left on here. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So total is going to take 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, just to clean the interior. And the good thing is that this was a vehicle from the dealership, so most of that dirt, sand, and grime was already gone. So it just alleviated everything else. That it shaved off an extra 40 minutes of our time. So technically, this type of detail will take about, my wife and I together, about 2.5 to 3 3 to 3.5 hours to do. But you know, with what the dealership did, we pretty much cut it down to you know, 2.5 hours to 3 hours. So we shaved off like 30 minutes. And this is why, as an FYI, you never trust a dealership. Told them just double check, make sure cabin air filter is changed, especially for a smoke odor vehicle. And as you can see, got tissue paper all in here. Look at that. That is not changed. That is not changed. So you're gonna have that smoke odor in the car the entire time. All right, everyone. So we're practically up to day 2 of odor removal. So all in all, it is July 1st. And what we ended up doing on the first night, even though the owner dropped it off Monday evening, we ended up just deep cleaning the entire interior. And we did that twice. So first off, we did bio break, you know, clean all the carpets and stuff, extracted it. Then we ended up using a Tide as well for the carpets and the headliner. And then the following day, I let it dry outside for about 2 hours. And then from there, we brought it in, and then we just had the ozone running about 2 hours straight with the recirc, then turned it off, gave it about 30-40 minutes rest, ran it again for 2 hours, and then reset that. And then after that, I let it run. I did that about like 3 to 4 times yesterday, and then all night I ran it straight. Still has a slight odor in there, and now we are going to clean it a 3rd time, because again, we do want to make sure we remove the source of the odor. And it is pretty early. It is still 8 in the morning, so the owner will be here to pick this up in the evening. So what we're going to do is put some BioBomb minis. We are going to spray the entire interior down with BioBomb minis and wipe everything down again, and then again steam it again, which I have my steamer here. I'm going to add more water in there and add a BioBomb mini to give it more extraction. Those are all the dirty rags right there, as you can see. And yeah, you don't want to be cheap with the rags. You don't want to be cheap with the dry erasers either, as you can see here. So that is just an update, and this should hopefully bring down the smoke smell to either nothing or a 1, maybe a slight 2. So yeah, it's just a lot of work. All right, everyone. So we're up to step 3 now, and have my BioBomb mini dissolved in here with 32 ounces. So one little tablet of BioBomb mini with this. So this is going to help neutralize the just extra odors or anything lingering around. And in terms of right now, I don't smell anything on the seat or on the belt. It all smells super, super clean. I let the ozone air out for about like an hour. And now we are ready to again do the 3rd step. We want to remove the source of the odors, and this is very, very, very important. Now let me prime this sprayer here, and the problem is, but here I did have some distilled water, so I am spraying off a bit extra. And that is it. So we are going to spray on the surface with the BioBomb Minis. And this is going to help kill extra odors as well. And we are doing this because it is very important. And then I will come back again with the steamer as well. I did do a test in an inconspicuous area, make sure it doesn't stain anything, because you just never know with the substrate, especially something like this that is older fabric per se. But as you can see, there's no dirt, no grime, no nothing. We already steamed, we already sanitized the entire thing. It's just more of making sure we just neutralize the odor. Now this does have a bit of a chlorine smell, and while you're spraying this on the surface and agitating it in, it gives it more of a it'll seep more into the substrate in itself, and this will help with, again, neutralizing the odors. So you're just gonna go around with your BioBomb Mini and just spray it everywhere, on the carpets, on the seats, and then come back around. And I like to spray this as a odor neutralizer at first on the fabric, let it neutralize those odors as well. Come back up here, spray here, and what we are doing is, like I said, letting this concentrate and just work itself into the fabrics. And as you spray the carpets, what we are going to do next is let it sit, let it air out for about 15-20 minutes, and then I'm going to come back around and I'm just going to hit it with Tide one more time on the carpets. I don't smell anything on the carpets anymore, but this is just more as a reinsurance purposes of making sure we get all the odors out. Same thing applies for the door panels as well. You're going to come around with your you're going to come back around with your BioBomb Mini solution, and you're going to agitate this in, buff this off, and it is going to neutralize and kill those odors. So we are hitting this with like a triple, quadruple whammy per se, especially on the carpets. It's 3 times, and here is 3 times as well, because we are neutralizing those odors. So that's it. I'm not going to talk too much because this is a lengthy process, but we are still going to continue around and yep, we're out.